Yes, the market is shifting, but what does it mean in your local market? Stay tuned and watch. If you find the content helpful and useful, you want to hit subscribe and the bell notification to receive the next future videos. This is a national occurrence that's happening right now with the increased interest rates, and the sellers are now kind of waiting on the fence to see what kind of change is going through. So there is a slower pace nationally happening right now. Okay, so it's not just a California specific, or it's not just a certain area specific. It's not even price specific right now. However, you see more of a plateau and an evenness in the higher price range. You see less of the upbidding, you know, the price that the property comes on the market, and the difference, the upbid that the buyer would submit. There's just a lot less of that right now in the higher price range of $1 million or more type of property. What does it mean though in the local market? So I'm gonna kind of talk through 3 different markets right now that you may be curious about, okay? The areas that I serve are American Canyon, Vallejo, and Fairfield. So I'm gonna touch on those 3 areas, and maybe next week I'll talk about Napa and Benicia. You have to remember that the market, the real estate market that we have had in the last 2 years is nothing close to being normal, okay? We have a historically the lowest interest rate ever in like at least the last 2 decades, right? At one point we were in like the 2% interest rate. I mean, you don't even remember the last time that happened. So with that, it created this frenzy movement for buyers to try to all buy, right? And then we didn't have enough homes on the market, or when they came on, they would just be off, as you know, within like literally hours sometimes, and you know, in a day or 2. So that is not at all a normal real estate market, right? So that is now going away. The market is starting to correct because of the increased interest rates, and because of that, we're now approaching the new normal. So let's talk about American Canyon. American Canyon in the last 2 years have been, you know, we were looking at between 105 to 109% above the asking price, the sold price, right? The unique thing about American Canyon, which is where I live, is we are a very small city. We have approximately currently about 6,000 homes available altogether. New homes are being built, but you know, they're not here yet. Well, with this small sample of homes when they come on the market, they don't last that long because people are still trying to move here. It's still zoned as part of Napa Valley Unified School District, which is considered a desirable school district. So with that, our homes don't necessarily sit on the market as long. We don't see a lot of price adjustment, or you know, some people would say price reduction, you know, where they reduce the price because it came on the market too high and then they have to adjust the price, lowering the price so that the buyers would actually submit an offer. We don't see a lot of that. But we don't have a lot of homes on the market either. I think right now we have about 10 to 12 homes actively on the market. It still creates this desirability in American Canyon for people who are looking to buy. So that's American Canyon. Now let's talk about Vallejo. Vallejo, we have seen more price adjustments, meaning the seller has lowered the price from the time that it had originally gone on the market, because it was going nuts for a while in Vallejo. Now Vallejo is, you know, a city of 100,000 plus people, nothing like American Canyon. So there's just more to choose from, right? But we're seeing price adjustments more. So I think it's really important to know that if you're looking to buy in Vallejo or you're looking to sell in Vallejo, you want to be more realistic now because the market has shifted. You feel the shift more in a larger city. So that's one. Then the last city I want to talk about today is Fairfield. You see a little bit of shift in Fairfield as well. Fairfield is also another large city, so you start to see some price adjustments. You still have some hot areas, desirable areas that are still going above asking, but the above asking percentage is not as high as it used to be because of the increased interest rate. So larger cities, in summary, in like Vallejo and Fairfield, you see more of a shift in terms of price adjustment. In a smaller city like American Canyon, not so much yet. But we also see homes that are sitting on the market longer. And when I say longer, I'm talking, 20 days plus, 30 days plus, because it came on the market priced high, and it's still currently on the market. Or sometimes what I'm seeing too is there was a buyer in place, it's in contract, for whatever reason the buyer could not perform or they couldn't get the loan approved. I'm sure it has a lot to do with the increased interest rate. So the property then is what we call BOM, back on the market. So then we see the same property that came back on the market. We've seen a couple of them in American Canyon in probably the last month. So that's what's going on in the local market. So I think it's important for you to really pay attention to how the shift impacts where you want to buy or where you're looking to sell. Thanks for watching.